What's up guys, Jack here from Magpie, back again with another review. This week I'm covering the Fever 333, who unexpectedly dropped a new EP called Made in America. So this week we're going to be having a look at it. So he's back, one of the most emotional, energetic frontmen of all time. Aalon Butler is back again from Let Live. He's now back with a new project, the Fever 333. Joining drummer Eric Importer, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and guitarist Stephen Harrison of Night Verses and The Chariot respectively. The trio have teased the project for quite a while now, and then they did a parking lot gig in LA last year on July 4th no less, sort of underlining their social political statements already. Signing to Roadrunner Records, the trio have been spending time in the studio with legendary producer John Feldman, who did the last Blink album, and Travis Barker no less, creating a 7-track EP and then dropping it out of nowhere. And since putting out all these teasers and releasing the record, I've been really excited to see what Jason brings to the party once again. Let Live were at their peak, I thought, with their last album, If I'm the Devil. To be fair, the aggression was slightly toned down on that record. And with this new project, I am happy to report that the aggression and the angst is there in full force. This debut is a social statement, focusing very heavily on the police brutality that happens in the US and LA, where the band are from. They've really driven home this fact through a hardcore punk sound, but also including very modern elements, some elements of hip hop and rap passages. And the band have been very clear what this project is about. It's about community, charity and change. And Butler adds, quote, "The movement is much greater than the music. The art is only a contingent piece. We want to make sure we're just as involved in the activism and the actual activation." And they go on to say that this album, this project, is about the social political mindfulness, that they're writing the music for the next revolution that they know is going to happen. And in terms of the feeling and the vibe and the sound that I get from this album, I completely agree with them. They've got this real angst and aggression, which is very in tune with anyone who feels apathy or anger to the powers that be. There's a mixture sonically. You're talking old school Rage Against the Machine with some Tom Morello solos, with this signature Jason style that he brings to the party, and then this modern hardcore feel, you know, straight from the path. And Let Live themselves, you can really hear it come out on this EP. A hardcore punk vibe with new metal thrown in just for good measure. Looking at some of the tracks, you've got POV and Changes, we've had the Rage vibes going on. You have the title track Made in America and Walking in My Shoes with the cleaner choruses coming through as well. And the fact that it's just one guitarist with no bassist or no backup guitarist or synthist or anything like that really doesn't hinder the band at all. You really don't notice it. And the guitar is also used in such a way that's quite different, and it's the same sort of vibe that, you know, Rage Against the Machine. It's kind of used as like a sample in many ways. The track We're Coming In is a perfect example of that. The drums lead the track, and then Jason's screaming at the top of his lungs, and the guitars come in and have this tears through this really heavy, gainy sound, and rips out some really heavy chords in such a way that it's kind of like a sample rather than a guitar playing through a natural chord progression. You just look at the track, The First Stone, Changes, with the rapper Yellow Wolf featuring on it. He fits the vibe really well in terms of lyrical content and the flow of the song, but it's got a very split personality when you look at the song. The first half, straight off the bat, you have Yellow Wolf coming in and he does his part great and it does sound fantastic, but then you have this, it's a weird kind of like cut in the middle, and then it cuts to Jason's part, and then it's just the hardcore vibe going on from there. It doesn't really feel coherent, it doesn't really feel a natural flow. It's like half a track and then Jason's part, and that's another half of the track, and it really could just be 2 tracks in and themselves, or they could have added more to one and more to the other. So I don't know if that was like a decision from the band or whether that was just there to just shoehorn in Yellow Wolf and not really consider the Jason aspect more. And the political statements are very focused. You have 7 tracks and they all talk about the same sort of thing, but I feel as if Jason is much more talented than that, and I feel as if he's got a lot more ideas. That's why I'm not really holding this against them in terms of the content of the album, because I know that there's more to come from Jason and co. But yeah, it's just all about police brutality that goes on in the US, where I know that there's a lot of more issues to be talked about and that should be talked about, and I feel as if this is a great platform for them to air those issues. But I see this as the first steps for the band. I have huge hopes for them, and the way that they're conducting themselves at the moment and the teasers that they're putting out is very interesting, very eye-catching. and they can really go from strength to strength and really kick on with an album which hopefully will come later this year. It's still early on for them, but I feel as if they've been sitting on this material for quite a while, so hopefully they get straight back in the studio. I know that they've got a tour with the U's coming up in the US, and hopefully they'll get announced for other dates and maybe a UK tour. And I'll talk about the live environment because that is where the music will all click. You can just imagine a whole room going crazy, and then this whole revolutionary vibe and the whole aggression and angst that this music you know, inspires feelings of, and that's a really powerful tool that they have. So if you haven't listened to this EP, it's only 7 tracks, it's only 18 minutes long, it's outrageous from start to finish, so definitely give it a listen if you have a spare 20 minutes or so. So, the Fever 333, have you given it a listen? Let us know in the comments down below as always, and also give the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and then check out all the social media links in the description. And yeah, that's about it. I've been Jack from Magpie, and we'll see you next time.